DayZ is still the best game, and it has like the best like moments, you know, like the best like you know, like meeting someone or like running into someone, or like, you know, you just met this guy, you just spawned in together, you're like, oh shit man, like there's like a guy shooting in town, or like you meet like these crazy people that are like fucking eating people, or like they dude, did I tell you guys we loaded in the server, me and Toots, right? In Livonia, it's like the DLC map, right? We loaded in and we died, and we're trying to find each other, right? And like DayZ, how it works is like when you die, dude, there's like set spawns. It's like, think of like Halo, right? There's like set spawns, but it's like randomized, right? You're not gonna spawn in the exact same spot. And then Toots was describing the area where he was. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're in this town. And like, mind you, like we're like relearning the game again, right? I'm pretty sure you're in this town called Colin Brody. And Colin Brody's interesting because they're these guys called the Brody Boys, right? And these guys are fucking crazy. And I was also like streaming like during this time, but I spawned in Colin Brody, and I barely like crossed the road, and I'm getting shot at, dude, in the tree line with like a silenced gun, and they're just killing me. And I just spawned in, and when you spawn in, you don't spawn in with shit. I mean, you spawn in with bandages, but like, dude, that's like not hard to make. So they're just like wasting bullets. You're like, and you're wasting the durability on your suppressor too. It's not like you have an infinite suppressor. You know what I mean? He was in Colin Brody, and he was like describing, and he was like, hey, these guys are like, you know, I ran into like these two guys, and there's like a weird guy in the building, and one of them was like, he killed the guy in the building, and then he was like cooking, he cut up the body, and then he was like cooking the human meat, and it was like making a human steak. I was like, oh shit. And like one of them had like a skull mask, which is pretty cool. Like you get like a human skull, and then you craft them like a bone mask out of it. I spawned in like a town over basically. And I was like, yo, Toots, I like ran into this guy, and he's like, and the guy was telling me, he's like, hey man, do you know where like Colin Brody is? I'm like, yeah, dude, we just have to go, I think we had to go like west. I was like, we gotta go west, but I need to figure out where west is, because I've been in this town, but it's like so out of the way, like I haven't, you know, I'm not familiar, so I need to figure out where west is. So, you know, me being a master navigator, right? And we learned on stream, like I know the constellations, I know where true north is, I know everything, right? Like I got it in here, but I had to orient myself, right? So we figured out where west is. He's telling me the story like, hey man, have you heard of like the Fish Empire? I was like, no. I know the Brody Boys though. Have you guys heard of them? Oh no, he was saying, have you heard of the Fish Empire? We were like set up in Colin Brody. That's the town that Toots is in, right? I was like, yeah, I've heard of Colin Brody, but I thought like the Brody Boys like run that area, right? And they're fucking crazy. And he got mad at me. He got like pissed. He was like about to yell. He's like, dude, the Brody Boys aren't shit, you know, they're nothing, man. They're nothing, dude. Why'd you have to bring them up? You know, he was like getting all like pissy with me. I was like, whoa, like chill man. I'm just saying, like, dude, I've ran into them, man. They've killed me, and you know, like I hate them as much as you do. Hey, in fact, I'll say it right here, bro, fuck the Brody Boys. Like I don't like them. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's all like, all right, so you're taking me to Colin Brody, right? I was like, yeah, I'll take you there. It's like, hey man, like if you want fish, like we got you. And you're like meeting up with your friend, right? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll like hook you up with some fish, and for you and your friend. I was like, all right, bet. We're going to Colin Brody, and I see a guy there, bone mask, right, cooking human steak on the fire. And me and Toots are in VC, and I see another guy. He's gagged. Like you can gag yourself in DayZ, right? So you can't like talk. Like a muffled like voice, right? The dude with the muffled voice, his name is Gimp. Like that's his name. That's what they call him. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know where, but yes, they call him Gimp. And he's like, yeah, that's Gimp. He listens to me. He does like whatever I say. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? So he's like, okay man, well, we have fish here, but hey, like let me teach you how to fish. Well, I fished before, but I kind of forgot how. Yeah, you need like a fishing rod. Obviously you can make one. They taught me how to make one. You need a fishing hook, right? You can find one or make one, and you need bait, so you need a knife to get it. So they give me all the stuff, set me up. I go on the bridge, I'm like fishing, I cast out my lure, and I'm fishing, and then in between there, like I heard it, like I barely heard it, I heard like my character eating something, so people can like feed you, right? But I didn't know you could do that while like performing an action, so like I shrugged it off. Then I didn't catch nothing, I had no luck. He actually fed me a little bit of fish, like the main guy. Dude, they were trying to convince me, they were like gaslighting me to leave Toots saying you're better with us here. You're probably gonna die with like your friend if you meet up. He's like trying to gaslight me, bro. I was like, dude, I just want to get on my friend. And then they looked away, they're like checking inventory, and then I sprint, I run for my life. I run for my fucking life. And like the whole time I'm telling Toots, I was like, hey dude, like was one of them to have a bow mask, one of them's gagged, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah dude, like I just ran into them, I just told you about it. I was like, yeah, but dude, I didn't think they would be right there. These guys are fucking crazy, man. He's like, yeah, by the bridge, right? I was like, yeah, by the bridge. We like meet up, gear up, we meet with Toots' brother, right? So it's all three of us meeting up. Toots' brother, Relic, Samlo, like he's sick. So he's like coughing, sneezing. It's like a whole thing in DayZ. Like there's like an immune system, like all that shit. He's like coughing periodically, right? And we like set up in a town, like in a pretty big town. And then you hear laughing, like your in-game characters laughing. And what that means, you have Kuru. And if you don't know what Kuru is, someone ate a human. And that someone was me. And then as soon as I heard that, I was like, dude, I have Kuru. I thought, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they fed me like while I was fishing, dude. I was like, oh. So I had to say my goodbyes. I hugged everyone and then I killed myself so I could respawn. Because there's no way to cure it, dude. You can't cure Kuru. You can't cure like the brain disease. You have to the only way to get rid of it is by, getting rid of yourself. But yeah. But like those kind of moments, like you can't have that like in any other video game. So that's why like DayZ, as like buggy as it is and like clunky it is, and yeah, just that includes so many things. There's really no other game like it,